What you doing? Huh?
Trying to adjust.
I mean, it was already adjusted, for a whole week, yeah? I mean, I think it's so high, yeah? Okay? So people in the back can hear it? Okay. What is he doing now? Now what I'm going to do with you. Let's go back to sleep, or wake up in the next life, maybe wake up in the next life. Going into sleep mode, robotic mode. Huh? You know the robotic mode? Waking up, drinking something, eating something, going to work, going back home, eating something, sleeping. Huh? That's robotic mode. Not being aware of anything. So, what am I going to talk about? Huh? Just for a little bit of understanding, there was a question about, the citta. Yeah, we cannot observe the citta. Yeah, that you should be aware of that. Yeah, you can experience the citta or the knowingness when you go into appana samadhi, when everything ceases to exist. Yeah? Appana samadhi, or the preview of nibbana, that is experience the citta. Yeah? But it is one moment you dive in, and the next moment you dive out. Yeah? There is no time, there is no space, there is no nothing. There is just pure knowingness. And this pure knowingness doesn't know any objects. Yeah? When we talk about the defiled citta, then of course we can observe whatever comes into the citta. Yeah? The citta itself, the defiled citta, you can think about the citta, yeah, being a huge cake, yeah? And then avijja takes a part of the cake, builds a wall around it, so that we find ourselves, lonely, yeah? Singled out, even if we are with our loved ones or, with our family, relative, we are still feeling, separated from others. Yeah? That's what avijja does. Once avijja is gone, we become part of the cake again. You understand that? Okay. Yeah. So, once we get rid of avijja, then we are part of the eternity. Yeah? Because that is what eternity is. Yeah? There is no future, there is no past, there is just eternity. Nobody can imagine what eternity is, and so don't even bother to think about it. Hello, good morning. Maybe you get some new batteries for your watch, huh? Coming so late, huh? In Pali, vicca is knowing, avijja is not knowing. Yeah? So a good definition for avijja is not knowing, not being able to know, not being able to understand, but also the wanting to know. Yeah? It's the will, where there is the will. Wanting to know, yeah? I mean, that's why we look up always, on Google, all these things, on all these websites, yeah? We want to know, yeah? We can't get rid of, wanting to know, wanting to understand, yeah? So that is what avijja is, but it cannot understand in line with the truth, yeah? Because it cannot know about itself. Avijja is, yeah. I mean, sometimes, you find the definition of complete ignorance, yeah, or fundamental ignorance, yeah. But that doesn't explain, doesn't explain everything. Avijja is not knowing, yeah, wanting to know but not being able to know, wanting to understand but not being able to understand. Avijja itself, as I explained, is the mastermind behind everything. I mean, he separates you out from the rest of the world, yeah? So that you feel lonely, you feel separate from each other. It has three armies, avijja, yeah? I mean, it needs three armies, yeah? It's greed, hatred, and delusion. Within these armies, there are the soldiers. These are called the kilesa, yeah? And don't think of the kilesas as defilements, as it often is translated. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah? What is defilement? Huh? Kilesas, are the soldiers that keep you in check. Yeah, keep you in the prison. Yeah, if you want to get out of the prison, they will create some pain and some suffering. Yeah, as long as you're in their prison, as long as you do what they say. Just like when your wife tells you, you do what I say, then you can be my husband, yeah, or the same. Same holds true for the other side. Huh? Yeah, yeah. And if you don't do this, yeah, I mean, she will imprison you. Yeah? Okay. Anyway, so that is the way. So. These three armies, greed, hatred, we talked about a lot, about a super practice, yeah, how to get rid of greed and hate, yeah. But we haven't even gotten rid of the delusion yet, yeah. Greed and hate are in forefront, yeah. I mean, when you look at, army, yeah, I mean, there's always, two armies in front, and the one that pushes the two armies, yeah. And the one that pushes the army of greed and hate is delusion. Yeah, delusion is not really understanding, what is going on. Yeah, and they always push greed and hate in front. So that's what we normally see, and we cannot really work on delusion unless there's greed and hate are eliminated. And once we eliminate greed and hate, and I talked about it, quite a bit. Yeah, how we can eliminate greed and hate. Yeah, have you done it already? Then we struggle with delusion. Yeah? And delusion it's a little bit more difficult to struggle with. Yeah? It is when we go back to greed and hate, it is rooted within the body. Delusion is rooted within in sankhara and sanya, in memory, association, and thoughts. They are so quickly combined, intertwined, so that we have to rip them apart, to get rid of delusion. Yeah. when you look at Lungta Mahabua, yeah, about his training, for 5 years he was in samadhi every day. Yeah, he tried to go into deep samadhi every day, and he managed it. Sometimes he said, it took him an hour, sometimes it took him 11 hours before he can enter Appana Samadhi. Yeah? But he did it every day for 5 years until Lumpuman said, that's enough, now get out and do some work. Yeah? So he did the investigation of the body. Within 8 months he was finished, because his sati was just like a laser beam, cutting through everything within minutes. Yeah? But then he said, to get rid of delusion, it took him 2.5 years. Yeah, it was so intertwined, it's so intermingled, it was so difficult to get rid of it. Yeah. I listened to, or prepared all of the talks that he gave to the monks, and there's only 1 or 2 talks, where he talked about how to rip apart delusion. Mostly he talked about asubha, yeah, how to get rid of greed and hate. And then, yeah, then he was stunned, he thought, okay, now it is all finished. Yeah. But, there was still this avijja, yeah. There was the mastermind behind it. And I said, Lumpuman died already, he passed away already, so he couldn't ask anybody, how to deal with avijja, and yeah, it took him 3 months, to understand the nature of avijja and to overcome it. Yeah. So this is what you need to understand, yeah. I mean, the most of the time you just fight with greed and hate, yeah. With the kilesas, they constantly push greed and hate in front of you. I want this, I like this, I don't like this, I need this, I don't need this, yeah. I want to become this, I want to become that, yeah. That's what you see most of the time, probably 24 hours a day. In your dreams, you dream about something, and so on. Now, when we talk, I talked about, avijja, sealing off a part of the eternal chitta, and making us single. But then, the chitta, then I also explained, you can view the chitta as a diamond, who has a lot of facets, yeah. And these facets we develop every life, we develop some, yeah. We make them bigger, yeah. Some abilities, learning to meditate is one ability, we make it bigger. And some abilities, maybe they're unwholesome, we decrease, yeah. So the facet changes from each lifetime. We change these facets, or we call it characteristic tendencies, yeah. You can see them as facets on the diamond, yeah. So this is what we think is me, is mine, is myself, yeah, my characteristic tendencies, but they change, yeah. I mean, when you were young, yeah. I mean, when you were 18, I think the whole world is yours, yeah. Every one of us remembers it, We can change the world, yeah. And then we realized with 30, there's nothing that we can change. Because we changed, yeah. Our idealism, changed, yeah. I mean, I remember when I was 18, probably some of you as well, there was the Vietnam War, yeah, and we were young, yeah, and we went against the Vietnam War, about the US, intervening there in the Vietnam War, and we went on demonstration, Ho Chi Minh, Ho Chi Minh, Ho Chi Minh. Yeah, I mean, that's us, I mean, complete idealists, Or then later on, Mao Zedong, Mao Zedong, Mao Zedong. Yeah, at that time we were pretty much against the US, in their intervention, yeah. Nowadays, I mean, most of the people, just, follow it, yeah. Whatever the US does. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. It's too sad of a story, yeah. Some people call, the US the biggest terrorist state in the world, yeah. Because wherever they go, they, just terror, yeah. Look at Myanmar, what they are doing, upheaval, I mean, constant problems, I mean, constant upheaval, yeah. And now in Taiwan, yeah. I mean, they put arms in Taiwan, I mean, they are two-faced, or like the Red Indian said, they have a split tongue, yeah. With one piece, they say, okay, one China policy, Taiwan is part of China, and the other hand, they sell weapons to Taiwan and put soldiers into Taiwan, and ask the Taiwanese to get independent of China, yeah. Ukraine, the same thing. No, don't talk about this. Let's go back to the kilesa, to avijja. Yeah. So, see, I mean, there is, when you look at your life, when you were 18, that's where it went off a little bit. Yeah. When we were 18, we had certain ideals, we had certain ideas, But over the time, in the last 20 or 30 years, it changed a lot, yeah. So that means our diamond, the facets have changed, some were more developed, some were less developed, yeah. And this is the qualities, that is our personality. So you cannot even say that your personality is always constant, yeah. It constantly changes. With each experience that we do, our personality changes. We take in the experience, we learn something. Most of the people don't learn anything, But some of us, especially the people who are here, they want to learn, but they see sometimes it's too tough to learn, But anyway, so our personality changes over the time. Yeah? So to say, to use the Christian term, the soul, that is a fixed personality, goes from life to life, it's completely wrong. Yeah? I mean, the personality, all the abilities that we have developed, will go into the next life, be it good qualities or be it bad qualities. Yeah? And that is what comes, what created the karma that we are then experience in our next life. Yeah? So the more good qualities or wholesome qualities we develop, the better we are off in the next life. Yeah? So that is important for you to understand. That's why you have to develop the sati to know what is going on. Why am I doing this? Huh? What is the result of my doing and what am I doing? Yeah? And that is so difficult. Now think about it. Think about it. Yeah. So in this changes, in each life, I mean, we are more developed when we go, until the rest of our life, practice meditation, and are only interested in one thing, to develop our wholesome nature, and go into the right direction. Then this will be at the end of our life, goes into the next life, It will take on some old karma, from the previous lives, but, most of it, comes into our next life when we become human beings, I mean, you might forget some things, when you're in hell for a while, or you might even forget something, when you're in heaven for a while, We tend to forget, of all our troubles, of all our abilities, when we are off in a far place, when it is especially in heaven, when it is very nice, then we forget, all the trouble that we had as a human being. And when in hell, we forget, we tend to forget also things, So that's why, sometimes, I mean, for instance, me, being a monk in the next life, I'm not a monk anymore, I'm just a lay people, trying to enjoy life until I hit so much dukkha that I said, there was something. What was it? There was some meditation or Buddhism, and then towards the end of my life, I said, you should go there. And then in the life after that, I might become a monk again, and that's why it takes so much time, There's so much time, and that's why they say, it takes eons of lifetimes to become an arahant. Because one time we become a monk or a nun or whatever, and then, it's so hard, it's so tough, let's enjoy life, and then the next life, we enjoy life, and then, towards the end, no, that is not right. And then next life we become a monk again, and then the same thing, we go forth, and then we go back, and then we go forth and then back. And that's why the Lord Buddha called us Neya, we go forth a step, and then we go 2 steps backwards, and we go forth 1 step, and then 2 steps backwards, and that's why he called us Neya, We have the potential. Open your ears, Put them out, put your antennas out, We have the potential, Every one of us, sitting here, have the potential. For some people it is easy, for some people it is very difficult. We have the potential to go in the right direction, and some of us might even, go straight to the door of Sotapanna, or even enter Sotapanna. We do have the potential. So it is up to us, to make the most out of this life. When you think about, religion, I mean about Buddhism, we are going through a lot of phases. The first phase is the kindergarten, where we see pictures of the Buddha, where he walks, where he gives a sermon, and and it is all nice, So, and we go to kindergarten for life after life after life until we want to know a little bit more. And then we study the suttas, then we go to primary school, where we study the suttas, then we go to secondary school or high school, and towards the end of the high school we start with meditation, because then we understand the teaching of the Lord Buddha so much that we need, then we can actually start meditation, And then it takes life after life after life doing meditation, because it's not easy, That's the same. So some of the Buddhist schools, are just kindergarten, some of them are primary school, some of them high school, and only a few are forest universities. I mean, Lungta Mahabodhi called his own, forest universities with 4 degrees, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, And if you haven't crossed, high school, you cannot go to university, It's just like in this life, So it's a long, long time, And when I see it, you're trying at least to meditate, at least, you're either at the end, of high school, or in the middle of the high school, and maybe you can cross over to the universities, I mean, that is up to you. I cannot say it, this is what you know, I mean, the more drive you have to go this way, and the more you want, you want only this, you want the results, and the better, the closer you are to university, But university, I mean, it's not easy. You're pretty much on your own, I mean, even in high school, you have teachers, you have to attend the classes, but in university, it's pretty much, or at least at my time, it was pretty much free. You want to attend to the class or don't attend to the class. You want to take the exam or don't want to take the exam or take it in the next semester or so on, And that's the same thing with the forest university, I mean, it is, it's up to the people, They have to have self-discipline. That's why in the forest university, monks, or lay people who stay there don't meditate together in groups. Everybody meditates on its own, And he's responsible if he meditates only 3 hours or 12 hours or 16 hours or 18 hours, a day, So and that is quite some discipline that you need, You understand that? Huh? For myself, when I went to the monastery, all I wanted to do, actually when I left my job, it took me, 89. I started 89 with the first meditation course. I told you, after 10 minutes, my head was down on the floor. I couldn't do it. I can't do that. And then, over time, I became more and more, After one and a half years, 1.5 years, I was able to enter Upachara Samadhi, And then I said, okay, that's it. Now I quit my job, And then I went into homelessness, And I went to England, in Germany, listened to this teacher, listened to that teacher, until I became dissatisfied with the teaching there because it didn't lead to the end, And then I went to Thailand, But all this time I was interested, really. The only thing I had in mind, I mean, from 89, from 89 to 2009. It's probably, 2009. Or was it even later? I wasn't interested in what is happening to the world. No interest at all. I was only interested, am I with my Buddha or not with my Buddha? Oh, I did the breath. Am I with my breath or not with the breath? I mean, what do I do now, and so on and so on. And so when I came to Wat Pho Pantat, the same thing, 12 hours was the minimum of meditation, How many hours have you done? 12 hours, 18 hours was the maximum, I mean 18, 19 hours, Got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and meditated until 11 when I didn't go out to eat, And then had a short break, and then meditated until 9 or 11 o'clock, So I had only 2 or 3 hours of sleep, That is power, Now I couldn't do it anymore. There's certain limit, once you get older, yeah. But at that time, when I ordained as a bhikkhu, 38, I still had a lot of power, yeah. I was running up the hills, going on Bindabad, running up the hills, running down, but 4 years, ago, no power anymore. But it kept me, yeah. There was one motivation, and that is what every one of you needs, yeah. There's one motivation that was holding true for me, yeah. Do you want to be reborn? And the answer was instantly no. Okay, then you have to go through it, yeah. No matter what is happening, you have to go through it, yeah. That was the motivation, yeah. If you don't have this motivation, so tiresome, too tiresome. Let's go and sleep, Lung Dhamma said, yeah. Majjhima Patipada, the middle way of practice is not the middle of your cushion where you put your head on. But he was good, he was always checking on us, yeah? At least twice a day, One time he came by, every day at the kuti, at least twice, to check if we do meditation or walking meditation or sitting meditation. One time, normally he came up in the morning, around 5 or 6 o'clock, and then he thought, I caught him sleeping. He ripped off, because the kutis didn't have any doors or windows or things, just a curtain. So ripped off the curtain, yeah. I was waking up, I was sitting, I was astonished because I'm doing sleeping, I was feeling sleepy, and he was surprised, I was surprised. Because he thought he caught me sleeping, yeah? And then he saw me sitting, okay. But he checked, he really checked, that gives you motivation. He's coming, he's coming. You better sit, or you better walk, yeah? Okay, anything that you want to know, yeah? Huh?
Hi, Ajahn. Thank you for sharing with us your experience leading up to ordination and in your years of training. Really appreciate that sharing. I think also in the introduction to this retreat, there was a bit of a mention about years spent in cave meditation.
Yeah.
Would you be able to share with us?
No. It comes out, if people have the merit to hear it, then it will come out. If the people don't have the merit to hear it, and sometimes, it's not, yeah? I love solitary retreat, yeah? I don't like to be with other people, I'm just disturbing, yeah? No, I like to be alone, and caves, are very, very good, for practicing. But caves are only for me to practice, during the dry time, yeah? Once it gets wet in the cave, I can't breathe, yeah? So that is a physical hindrance for me, yeah? So I spent 4 or 5 months, in a cave, and then came back to Wat Papantak, yeah? I always wanted to go back, sometimes I had questions, During the cave there are some experience, then you came back and paid your respect to Lung Dhamma, and then asked the question, how can I deal with this problem, how can I deal with that problem, yeah? And before you went, you asked for permission to go, then he asked you, where are you going? Okay, this is a good place, okay, yeah? You go alone? Yeah, that's good, yeah. For some people, they cannot go alone, they need companions, yeah? I mean, it was the same with Luang Pu Man, I mean, Luang Pu Man sometimes didn't allow the monks to go by themselves, but for Luang Da he always allowed. Okay, good. Or sometimes, when he needed him, he said, it's good to go, it's good to stay, it's better to stay. Then he wanted him to stay in the monastery, to keep track of the other monks there. Anyway, so, yeah, okay. Yeah. There's one behind. Yeah?
Hi, Ajahn. I was meditating on this mantra, and after a while, I shifted my attention to the point where the sound came out from.
Where what comes up from?
I was doing mantra meditation.
What?
Mantra meditation.
What mantra did you use?
Buddha.
Oh, okay.
Then after a while, I shifted my attention to the point where the sound came out from.
Yeah.
And then after a while, the Buddha started to die down and it stopped.
Yeah.
There was this shift in my psyche. And there was a watcher on the riverbank looking at the torrents of inclinations, thoughts, and emotions, but I wasn't affected by it. So I just saw it arise, disband, and pass away.
Yeah. Your question, is it the right way? No, it's not the right way.
It's not the right way.
I mean, I told you in the morning what is the right way, so you don't have to come to Udon to ask me, yeah? The right way, am I with my Buddha or am I not with my Buddha? That is the right way, then you know it is the right way. Some people, I mean, I know some teachers, teach, just watch the arising and ceasing of thoughts and feelings and everything. And then I tell them, yes, you can watch it until the end of your life and nothing changes. Yeah? You don't get any insight from this. Yeah? The insight you get, by asking the right question. I mean, how often do I have to explain it? Vipassana is concentrating on one object and then asking questions about it. Yeah? Show me this way, or, dissect it. What is the nature of this object? What is the nature of that object? Or what is the body? What are the body parts? Show me this. Yeah? That is investigation. Yeah? Okay, understood?
Another question is, might not be relevant, but it's customary in Japan for the monks to have sex and get married. Do you think there's Dhamma there?
What?
So it's customary in Japan for the monks to have the sexual relations and get married and have children. Do you think there's the Dhamma is still in Japan?
Why do you think the Lord Buddha, told us to be celibate?
To watch the creation come out and
Yes, and because raga tanha, sexual desire, is the strongest one. Yeah, I mean what they did, it's probably because of their government or something like that. I heard, they had to become married, because the government didn't allow monks, to be. Yeah, I don't know. I think I heard the story, but I can't really remember it. No, it is completely wrong. These people, if they are Buddhist monks, they go to hell. Yeah. Also, if a monk, once in a while, monks, in Thailand, the Thai people do look after the monks that they are correct, yeah? So once in a while they catch a monk, under the crematorium together with a woman having sex. They drag him out, take off his robes, and he cannot ordain again, yeah? And if there are some bad behavior that goes against the precepts very strong, they really drag him out and say, you cannot be a monk, yeah? Or they just don't support him anymore, yeah? So he goes hungry. When he goes hungry, probably disrobes. That I like that about Thailand. They really take care of the monks. Yeah? In other traditions, it's not like that. Yeah. No, it's completely wrong. Yeah, sexual desire is the strongest desire. If we cannot cut down, we can never get anagami. Yeah? How do you get out? Huh? Anyway, so other questions? No. Not yet. Yeah.
Thank you for the sharing. May I ask, is it normal to have the feeling like the energy, Chinese called qi, is moving in the body?
Yeah. What? Catching the feeling that is moving in the body.
The energy.
Energy.
Yeah, it's like some air moving and sometimes it gets stuck somewhere. Is that some wrong meditation?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Huh? As I just told, yeah. As long as you're with the Buddha or with the breath, it's okay. Yeah. Don't be interested in anything else. Just return. Yeah. This, sometimes, if you have done a lot of yoga or Tai Chi, in your previous lives, this might come up, or some. Yeah. People have done a lot of things, in their previous lives, there are lots of different, different sects, especially in India, who teach different things, yeah. They have this yoga where they, try to get the. Forget about it, yeah. Just know, am I with my Buddha? Am I with my breath? Then I'm on the right path, yeah. If I'm interested in something else, I'm deviating from the right path, yeah? Okay? But there's one thing that you can do, if you find something, if you find that there are some tensions in the body, yeah, just like when investigating pain, then go to the tension and relax the tension, yeah. Over the time we get really control of the body, yeah. So we can go to these things, and relax them and release also the energy that is stored in there, yeah. But first, learn how to practice correctly, and then you can use it, yeah. Yeah.
Before I ask the question, so maybe I ask for your forgiveness if I ask this question. In the morning, you mentioned about the elements, four elements, but
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind, because I thought that there were actually 6 elements: space elements and knowing elements.
What?
Space elements and knowing element.
Space element and what?
And the knowing element.
The knowing, I didn't talk about knowing element. Space, I talked about some people add space and time element, but there is no space and time element. There are 4 elements. The Lord Buddha teaches about 4 elements: water, air, fire, earth. There's no knowing element because, knowing nature is part of the citta. Yeah? You understand that? It's not an element. I said, you can dissect, when you're good, when you're really good, you can dissect or you can investigate thoughts and then it falls apart into these 4 elements. Yeah? Everything in this universe, if you investigate it, it can fall apart, you can see it, falling apart into the 4 elements. Because everything in this universe is created from these 4 elements. But there's no knowing element, yeah? The knowing nature knows that there is an element, yeah?
Space element.
What?
Space.
Just talk, it's no space, there is no space and no time element. Yeah? I know, there are some Buddhist teachers who talk about this, but I've never seen any space element, any time element, because when you go into Appana Samadhi, there is no space and there is no time. Yeah? When you come back, there's also not yet any space, any time. There are the four elements that form the memory, yeah? I mean, if you're long enough in the Appana Samadhi, it happened to me a few times, I mean, I was sitting, and going into Appana Samadhi, I don't know how long, yeah? It must have been a few hours, Then I came out and I didn't know who I was, where I was, what is happening, And it took, took about 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, until I realized, okay, yeah. And then I looked, looked around, and then I realized where I was. Yeah? So please understand it. The Lord Buddha didn't teach about a time element or space element. Yeah?
Ajahn, I have a question.
Yeah.
So this sensation of thoughts ceasing, what exactly is it supposed to feel like? Because in the afternoon I was very sleepy, but then I sat, and then I'm quite sure that I was following my breath, but at one point I felt as if I had a thought which I just lost my train of thought, but I don't think that's actually the case because I didn't really have many thoughts. I feel like I had very few thoughts, and I don't think I fell asleep either, but there was this strong sensation that I had forgotten something, and then I was a bit confused, but then I continued to watch the breath, and afterwards when I got up, I felt quite more peaceful than usual. I didn't have a desire to have some chocolate, but I didn't have that desire anymore. So I'm just wondering what actually this sensation of thought ceasing should feel like, so that I know whether I'm closer to that or maybe I just learn how to sit down.
I mean, there's one thing, I mean, there's one thing. If you go into Upachara Samadhi, there's nothing that you can do. You just have to wait until you get out. Because there's no volition, there's no intention, yeah, in Upachara Samadhi. If we want to do something in Upachara Samadhi, we have to have the intention before we go and enter Upachara Samadhi. But I don't know if that is your question. So I mean, if you fall asleep, and afterwards you feel peaceful, I mean, that can be because of your sleep, but it can also be I said it very clearly. If you go into Upachara Samadhi, when you come out, you feel energized. If you feel energized, then you went into Upachara Samadhi. If you feel just, if you went to sleep or half sleep, or dozed off, then you feel a little bit tired afterwards. You might feel peaceful, but you feel tired, yeah? So this is an indication, yeah? Whenever you come out of Upachara Samadhi, you feel energized, yeah? And the mind is really awake, yeah? So whatever whatever you look at, it's much easier to dissect than if you're not, yeah?
So one of the other thoughts that I had was, before I had this sensation of forgetting, I was watching my breath, and then I had a question about knowing the breath when it is long and knowing when it is short.
Yeah.
But actually, so how I do it is I just compare it to the previous breath. Is it longer or shorter? Like, actually, how are we supposed to know? What actually are we supposed to do? We just compare it to the last breath.
In the beginning, if you don't know what knowing is yet, yeah? I mean, you ask the question, if the breath is long or if the breath is short, yeah? And I mean, the knowingness comes there, and then you know also the answer, yeah? So you can use it at the beginning, yeah? Is the breath deep, or is it shallow? Is it long, or is it short, or is it, yeah? Is it subtle, or is it rough, yeah? So in the beginning, in the very beginning, you can ask this question to arouse this knowingness, yeah? But later on, you just know. I mean, the knowingness, yeah, comes then out into a thought, yeah? And you can cut off the thought, because it is short, or it is long, or it is in-breath or out-breath. You understand that?
Yeah, but it's quite obvious when it's long and short, right?
So you don't have to think about it. I mean, I said, only in the beginning, if you don't know, yeah, to invoke this knowingness, yeah, that is for most people it is tedious, to invoke this knowingness. They just want to stay with the breath. Yeah, not knowing about the quality of the breath, yeah. So asking this question to invoke this knowingness, yeah. Once the knowingness is there, you don't have to ask, because you already know. Yeah? Okay?
Sorry, see again. Dhamma say that this world is like a toilet full of shit.
What?
Dhamma say that this world is like a toilet full of feces.
What is full of shit?
The world.
Dhamma said that this world is like a toilet full of feces.
It is one of his talks.
Yeah?
Then I read.
And where is he wrong?
Yeah, then this right. Then I read this German philosopher called Ajahn. He also came to the same conclusion as Dhamma. But I still feel that I still hanker after the pleasures of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any tips to strengthen the knowledge that this world is full of dukkha?
I mean, it doesn't help you, if you think that the world is a toilet, yeah? I mean, actually, Schopenhauer didn't really come to the conclusion, as much as I still recall from reading him, yeah? But, I mean, he got confused with the will. He couldn't take the will away, yeah? And that's why he got crazy, in the end, I mean, he understood everything clearly, up to, up to greed, hatred, and delusion, but the will, with, yeah? That's why the book is called, what is it called? I can't even, yeah, doesn't matter, yeah?
I think you call it denial of the will to live.
Yeah. So whatever, yeah? I mean, in German it's a little bit different, yeah? I mean, the will is avijja. Wanting to know, wanting to understand, and that is what, I mean, you cannot grasp this idea, if you don't practice, yeah? Yeah, I mean, go with the pleasures, yeah? I mean, but investigate the pleasure. What is the pleasure, yeah? I mean, he wasn't here, when I talked about these crazy people from the West coming to the beaches, in Thailand, and heating themselves up in the sun, until they can't stand the heat anymore, and then go into the cool water until they can't stand the coldness anymore, and then, they do it all day long, and in the end said, oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Then just put a bucket of hot coal and ice cold water and then put your hand in, it's the same.
Actually, that's what the same conclusion as Schopenhauer. He says that every pleasure is negative. You must have a pain before you can have the pleasure. So there can be no pleasure without any pain.
He wasn't here, I mean, when did you come in, yeah? Huh?
I was here the first second.
Today was the first day or something like that, yeah? I said, in German we say, we hit our head against the wall because it's so nice when the pain goes away.
Yeah, we really saying that the first day.
Okay, yeah? I mean, understand it, investigate it, what is the pleasure, The pleasure only comes, when you have displeasure before. It's a change between the pleasure, between the pain and the relief of the pain. Huh? Look at it when you have sex. Yeah? You heat yourself up, until you can't stand it anymore, until you relieve yourself, and then, that was so nice, yeah? Isn't that true? I did have my fun, I wasn't ordained all my life. Understood? Okay. So one more question. Yeah. Where's the microphone? Yeah. Okay.
For me, may follow up on the question in the morning around bringing the bright light into your chitta.
Burning what?
Bringing the bright light
Oh, yeah.
into your chitta.
Yeah.
I think during one guided meditation, I felt like being swallowed by the light. Is that?
No.
That's not.
No. Yeah. And concentrate, in order to be able to bring the light down to you, you have to be concentrating on the light, and the light is in front of you, yeah? Yeah? So you concentrate on the light, and then you slowly move the light, with your concentration, move it down into your heart. But you're not swallowed by the light, yeah? I mean, I don't...
I felt like I was going to die.
What?
I felt like I was going to die. Like my heart was racing, and I was very excited. And
Yeah, that if you're very excited, that is certainly not the way. Huh? I mean, one part of the Upachara Samadhi, you're absolutely calm, or you're peaceful, or you're still, I mean, the heart is, hardly beating, yeah? And when you're excited, the heart is beating up, yeah? And it's imposed, yeah? And if you're full of lust, the heart is beating up. If you're full of anger, the heart is beating up, yeah? So where's the difference? That's what we need to investigate, yeah? Where's the difference between lust and anger, yeah? Look at it. This time, look at your physical heart, when something comes up, when lust or greed comes up, look at the physical heart, What is it? What is actually going on in this body, yeah? We want to understand, yeah? And then we take the body, we don't look at our smartphone that tells us, all sorts of things, We look in our body, how does this body work? Huh? I mean, there are so many interesting things in that we can investigate once the mind gets calm, yeah? When I think, when I close my hand and I think I open my hand, nothing happens. I just think. I need to send an intention to the brain, yeah, and then I can know which part of the brain opens the hand. Yeah? The thought itself doesn't do anything, yeah, but I know where the thought arises, in which part of the brain arises. You can all, I mean, there's so much to investigate, yeah, how these things working, yeah, how this body is working, yeah. But we are not interested. We want to use it, yeah. It's just like our car. We are not interested, opening the hood of the car and see how the engine is working, or how this is working, or that is working. We just want to use it. Whoosh, yeah? Huh? No? Yes. Okay.
Why is avijja stuck in this predicament or the paradox of always wanting to know, feeling compelled to know,
Yeah?
and feeling that it knows everything, but it really doesn't know anything?
Yeah?
Why?
Why? I mean, you have to ask avijja. I don't know. It's a phenomena that is like this, just like, a feeling is like a feeling, it feels like a feeling, thought is a thought, it's a phenomena. I mean, that exists, it has this characteristic, yeah? Why it is, I mean, you don't ask me, because I'm not really interested. It's just like, people ask, I mean, I was really wondering why this question has not come up. Why did I come into this mess? Why did I get born, Huh? That is not a question we should ask. Why did I first come into this, into this universe, Huh? No, it's not a question you can ask, yeah? I mean, think about it, imagine, I always tell this, yeah? Before this question comes, I will already elaborated on it, yeah? When you are, yeah, I mean, you know farmers, or you probably heard of farmers, I mean, when they raise pigs, and cows, the shit goes into a big hole, yeah? When you're in this hole, yeah? When you're thrown into this hole, no matter how you're thrown into this hole, yeah? When you're thrown in this hole, and once in a while, I mean, your head goes up, and you feel the fresh air, and then you see somebody else just diving, and then you try to help him up, and while you help him up, you go down, and then you come up again, and once you see somebody walking along, the rand of this hole, yeah? And the first question you ask him, how did I get into this hole? Huh? Is that the first question you ask him? Huh? How did I get into this mess? How do I get out of this mess? Yeah? And the Lord Buddha gave us a stick, what shall I do with this stick, Pull yourself out. Yeah? So this question, the Lord Buddha said, we should not even think, that can really make us crazy. We get in this mess, and the question is, how do we get out of this mess? Yeah? And that is what I was trying to teach you, for the last few days, yeah? How to get out of this mess. Yeah? Okay, so, yeah, I don't know. You have to ask Avijja why it has these characteristics, yeah?
It's a common tactic by the Buddhist masters. They always say, what's the nature of things?
What is the nature?
It's the nature of things. There's no other answer. It's just the way things are.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a phenomenon, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah? You can call it's a nature of this thing, yeah? Avijja, when you think about it, Avijja is the mastermind, yeah? Huh? It has a lot of power to keep us, in this realm of existence, in the samsara, yeah? So, that's probably why it is, Huh? Constantly, just look at yourself, you constantly want to know. Yeah? You ask these questions, yeah? If you don't ask me the questions, you ask Google or Siri this question, yeah? Yeah? What is happening there? Yeah? What is happening there? Why is he acting like this? Why is he acting like that? Yeah? Huh? What makes him different from me? Yeah? They are all questions you're wanting to know, wanting to understand, isn't it? Yeah? Okay.
Hi, Ajahn. So, yesterday I tried doing walking meditation without the 1 meter limit, without looking down. So it's like as though I'm walking normally, just looking straight. So my question is, can we do walking meditation, or can we observe the prayer, or do the Buddha when we walk on the streets? For example, walking to the bus stop, walking to take a train, or even maybe talking to someone.
What is exactly the question? I don't...
Can we observe the prayer? Can we do the Buddha?
Yeah?
When we're walking the streets, or when we're talking
on the first day, I explained walking meditation, yeah? How to do proper walking meditation, yeah? Of course you have your Buddha or you have the breath, yeah? But you don't coordinate it with the walking, yeah? You walk normally, you put your head, 1 meter in front of you, don't look left and don't look right, and you in the beginning you look towards the end and said, this one path I want to be with the Buddha, yeah? Yeah, people coming in late, I'm really, I really don't want to explain it over and over and over and the same thing over and over again, yeah?
Yeah, but if you don't look down, look straight.
No, I said 1 meter down. Maybe I'm talking Denglish or what? German English. So people here don't understand it. 1 meter down, yeah? 1 meter up, it is, you don't know, yeah? Just walking down, because you need to see, where you're walking, huh? No? When you look up, you don't see where you're walking, and then you stumble, yeah? No. Okay?
Then what about if you're talking to someone?
What?
If you're talking to someone,
That is not walking meditation.
No, this is another side question. If let's say you're talking to someone, can you observe the breath at the same time, or
Can you do that? It would be great to do it, and especially before. In German we say, before you open your mouth, turn on your brain. Huh? Here in Asia, people, start talking, and after they stop talking, they turn on their brain, yeah? Even in Germany, yeah? Don't worry. Now it is everywhere. It's the same mess all over the world. Yeah, and it's been globalized. Yeah, what? Yeah.
My question is, you said that when we have nothing much to do, we can just focus on the breath or do Buddha. But then at the same time, we also should be mindful of our activities, right? Well, how we carry on our things. So how do we balance the two? When do we do mindfulness and when do we do the Buddha and the...
If you do something, then you're mindful of your activity. Yeah. So that means mindfully, the mind is fully with this activity and doesn't think about the activity. Yeah? But awareness would be even better. Yeah? Because then you see, the thoughts are going out around. When you wash, when you wash your dishes, you can be mindful of washing your dishes while the thought is, what am I going to do next? Yeah. Or what do I have to do next? Or I have to wash my laundry, then I have to clean this room, then I have to get washed, yeah? While you do, you think you're doing, yeah? So awareness is probably the best thing, sati is the best thing, yeah? If you think about mindfulness, doing just one thing at a time, yeah, without thinking about it, then it's okay, yeah?
So just to clarify, when we're doing something, we should be mindful of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But when we're not doing anything at all, just sitting on the bath,
Yeah.
then that's when we should just focus on the Lord.
Yeah, then, yeah. But even with very small tasks, like washing the dishes, yeah? Or even chopping the vegetables.
So that's my question. So
Yeah.
when I
Yeah. If we don't need to think, then we can do the Buddha or the breath. So when you do cycling, you can do the Buddha or the breath, yeah? When you do any kind of manual labor, yeah? Just like when we sweep, when we sweep in the monastery, sweep the leaves, yeah, we do the Buddha or the breath, yeah? Yeah? But if you have to think, in sitting in front of the computer, there is no chance that you can do the Buddha or the breath, yeah? Or if you're in the phone, there's hardly any chance, that you can do the Buddha or the breath, yeah?
when it comes to eating, we just need to do.
Yeah. That actually was a good question, yeah? Yeah.
Ajahn, this morning you promised the brother sitting in front of you that he could ask you his question.
What?
You promised the brother sitting in front of you that he could ask you a question about the apocalypse.
There is no, how did he get a couple, No, there is no end of the world. Yeah, of course there will be an end of the world, but not in this lifetime. Huh? What did the Lord? I told you about, didn't I, about the Lord Buddha? He said he's the fourth Buddha, and there will be another Buddha.
I'm referring to World War III prophecy.
Yeah, that is something different. It's not apocalypse. The end of the world, the Lord Buddha said, the end of the world comes after the fifth Buddha. Yeah? Yeah? Then when the sun gets bigger and swallows up the earth. Yeah? Are there not other questions, don't you have any other questions, That should be the last question, yeah?
Thank you, Ajahn, for answering the question. I do have a question regarding to the 5 brigades. Because we are saying that 5 brigades are not self, but how can...
Buy tickets?
5 aggregates.
Oh, the 5 khandas.
Yes, 5 khandas. The last khandas is consciousness.
Yeah.
How can we see consciousness is not self? How would you advise us to practice so that we can see it is not self?
You better practice a lot of sati. Yeah, I told. The people are not here. I told you. Consciousness, to see consciousness arising and ceasing. It is like watching in a movie, in an old-style movie. The black bar between pictures. So you have to have extreme sati to see it. And the interesting thing is, what happens if there's no consciousness? Yeah? Because the chitta is still there. The knowingness that there is consciousness or non-consciousness is still there. Very interesting. Yeah? But you have to have extreme sati, and if you don't practice, 18 hours a day, you will never get there. Yeah? But there you can see it, yeah, the arising and ceasing of consciousness. Okay?
Thank you.
Any more questions from the floor?
Everybody is waiting for the prophecies.
There is a written question, Ajahn.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go
The
ahead.
question is, dear Ajahn, sometimes when I am doing walking meditation, the mind just know the walking, no other thoughts. Is it okay?
No?
Okay, the next part of the question is that
You have to know either the breath, you have to be concentrated, yeah? You can be concentrated on the breath body, you can be concentrated on one point, around the tip of the nose, or you should be concentrated on the Buddha, yeah? But what is the knowing of the walking? What is that? I don't understand that. Yeah? No, it's not correct, yeah?
after a sitting, the mind doesn't want to chant Buddha anymore, very quiet. It automatically focuses on the walk, not the breath. Can I just focus on the walk only? Sometimes it will return to the breath. Walking.
Yeah?
Sometimes it will return to the breath or Buddha. I will then focus back on the breath or Buddha. Is it okay?
No. If the mind does not want to focus on the breath or on the Buddha, then we have to force it. That's a whole training, yeah? Otherwise we will never reach, Upachara Samadhi. Upachara Samadhi is concentration. It's more than 50% concentration, yeah? When we are concentrated on the Buddha or on the breath, yeah? And while we are concentrated, yeah? If we are too tired, to concentrate on the breath, or if it is too boring, yeah? What's the point? You understand? Oh, you understand, whoever wrote the question? Huh? In the morning I explained it, you know if it is right or if it is wrong. If I'm with the Buddha, then it is right. If I'm with the breath, then it is right. If I'm not with the breath, it's not right. It's deviating from the right path, yeah? If I'm not with the Buddha, it's deviating from the right path, yeah? How can I say it more to make it clear? Huh? And then these questions popping up, yeah, again. Okay? Any more questions? Yeah, there's. Yeah.
I was doing walking meditation after I calmed down myself on the Buddha. A thought arises, memories, and then I imagine myself. I'm moving my brain, then I'm telling to myself, why you keep thinking on those thoughts? That thoughts doesn't own your mind. Your mind doesn't own you. And then I keep replaying it on my head, and then it disappears. Then I simply turn back to Buddha. So my question is, am I doing the right practice of asana meditation?
Not really. Eh? Any question that we start with why leads to thinking. Eh? Whenever you see a thought, what you can say or what you can put a label on in the beginning is anicca, anatta, or it's not me, it's not mine, it's not myself, and then return back to the Buddha or return back to the breath. Yeah. What really, if you really get into meditation, what is really interesting, yeah? I mean, the moment you can a little bit concentrate, I mean, you see a train of thought, maybe it's 20 thoughts, and then, I mean, your sati becomes better, then the train of thoughts is just 15 thoughts, then it is 10 thoughts, then it's 5 thoughts, then it's 4 thoughts, then it's 3 thoughts, then it's 2 thoughts, then it's 1 thought, then it's a half a thought, then it's a quarter of a thought, and then it's the intention to think. Yeah? That's when your sati is good, yeah? When you see the intention before actually the thought develops, and then you can say, I don't want to think. Yeah, then it's very easy. But to stop a train of thought is difficult. Yeah, but you can cut down on it once you see it. Okay, cut. Yeah, and then then you cut it, and then you cut it again and again, and it becomes less and less and less. Yeah, and then you see half a thought, and you say, no, I don't want to think. Yeah, book, cut. Yeah. And then you see the intention of the thought. Yeah? Oh, quite interesting, yeah? Because it doesn't give you the thought. It just tells you in which direction the thought is going. There's so many things you can... I mean, the world is so interesting. I mean, just close your eyes and it's so interesting, yeah? Okay? Understood? Calm down, calm down.
Is it okay if speak softly, as we walk?
Speak softly?
That means I mean call out as we walk. Is it okay or must it be silent?
It should be silent, but I mean, if it helps you in the first few hours, then I mean, speak it softly, but yeah. I mean, there are, we can use in the beginning a lot of crutches, I mean, until we get to that, but the aim should be, I mean, the silent Buddha, yeah, or the breath, yeah. Or put with breathing in and do with breathing out, yeah.
Thank you.
May I ask, is drinking a cup of coffee instead of plain water considered as a form of sensual pleasures?
No. Why should be?
Because in the sensual pleasure is one of five hindrances, so...
Don't worry about the sensual pleasure, Yeah? I mean, you're eating?
No, I was so... I actually asked this question, so I was told that, just drink plain water. Having a cup of coffee is actually...
I mean, if you have a cup of coffee, be careful about the taste. Be aware of the taste of the coffee. And be aware of what the coffee does to your body. That is a training, Huh? I mean, of course we have desire, yeah? But what you're trying to do is, cutting the desire, but you cannot cut it. You have to investigate the desire. In order to investigate the desire, I mean, you have to follow the desire and see to what it leads you. Huh? Oh.
I mean, because to me, I feel that drinking a cup of coffee after lunch, it actually helps in the digestion.
Yeah, so... I mean, it helps me, if I have a cigarette after lunch with the digestion. So, what is the problem? There's no problem. I mean, don't try to mentally to cut down on the desire. Investigate every kind of desire. Yeah? If I eat this, what is the reaction of my body? What is the reaction of my stomach? If you think, and in the beginning we can be wrong, if you think that is wholesome, then go and do it again. But each time you investigate it, yeah, until you see certain kinds of food, create a lot of turmoil, and then you don't eat it anymore. Even if you like the taste, yeah. But if you don't investigate it to cut it off, you still don't know, if it is wholesome, because everybody of us, is different. Some people need this, other people need that, yeah. And this is something that we have to investigate. Yeah? You understand? You don't have to ask the question, you know. There are a lot of prophecies, yeah? Getting your sati ready for this moment so that you know, that you're not confused by plans what to do and what not to do, yeah? So that your sati, when you have sati, you go the right direction. You understand that?
Yeah.
Sati, development, yeah? Until the mind becomes completely clear. When the mind gets completely clear, it knows exactly what to do. Every plan of us, will be screwed, or will, mostly go the wrong way. Yeah? Lungta Mahabodh said it very clearly. Yeah? If we plan something, if we have thoughts about it, if we do something, and don't have sati, things go the wrong way. If we have sati, things go the right way. Understood? That's why I'm telling you this. That's the only reason, yeah? Not to create any kind of fear, yeah? That's just useless, yeah? I talked about fear. Fear is useless, yeah? It doesn't help any situation. It makes us timid, yeah? COVID, timid. I need a shot, yeah? Yeah? It makes us timid. It makes us doing the wrong things, yeah? Instead of standing up and looking, investigating, and doing the right thing, yeah? Okay, understood? Huh? What?
Ajahn,
Yeah, what?
do you still want to receive questions?
Yeah, one or two, yeah.
One or two, so any more questions from the ground?
But this topic is closed, yeah? I said what needed to be said, Huh? Because the topic is closed. There are no more questions. Okay, so...